It's been a little while since I've done a video on this game. Now, despite the pretty lengthy period of time between this video and the last video, I have been fairly consistently working on this park, as you can see. Or I say fairly consistently, I haven't been working on it that much. With school and stuff like that, I've been focusing on doing a lot of I guess easier things for me to do for YouTube. And with me really trying to learn how to actually do stuff in this game when I was starting this park and whatnot, I didn't do a ton with it, but now that I've learned the game a bit more and a few things have changed that give me more time to record these videos and whatnot, I will hopefully be fairly semi-consistently posting videos on this game from now on. There will also be a little bit of a change on how I do the videos on this park. I think when I'm placing down rides or building roller coasters or building things that are important to the experience of that roller coaster, I'll show a lot of that on camera. However, stuff like a majority of this middle city area that's still incomplete, and stuff like just random buildings and stuff, or massive areas of foliage like this, I'll do off camera and then kind of go over it as I guess an update, I don't know. Anyways, first thing I want to do for this video is I actually want to change this roller coaster. This area of the park is supposed to be more of a Hot Wheels themed area of the park, hence why I have stuff like the twin mill in here, and I'm going to build the bone shaker up here at some point. However, when I built this roller coaster, or since building this roller coaster, a new thing was added to the hydraulic launch coaster, a literal race car skin. And since this is a Hot Wheels themed area, it just makes sense for that to be the ride type I build here. So as much as I do kind of like this RMC hybrid coaster I've made, it's definitely not the best. It was the second coaster I've ever made on this game, so smoothness is not entirely there for some parts. So I am just going to delete it, completely scrap this layout, and I'm going to build this race car skin here in its place. If I can actually buy the skin. How do I buy the skin? Give me a second. I need to actually try and buy the skin here. Let's see. Boom. Confirm. Okay. I don't know if I'll build an RMC hybrid somewhere else in the park. I would like to have an RMC hybrid in the park somewhere. I just don't know where I'd do that quite yet. But anyways, close and destroy. Here we go. Oh, of course someone's arriving at the park right after I've done that. Yeah, I think I'll build a majority of this roller coaster in the form of a time-lapse. I'm not going to make this a launch roller coaster, even though this is the hydraulic launch coaster. I kind of want to go for more of a new gen Vekoma type of thing. Unfortunately, that's not the track that this ride type has. Yeah, I'll build this in the form of a quick time-lapse, and then we'll move on to other things. Alright, so I did finish building the roller coaster. Unfortunately, the recording was acting a little stupid, so a lot of things have changed in between when the recording broke and now. Because I did I guess, finish the roller coaster in the time lapse. However, I was really just not happy with like the entire second half of the ride. It was super rough and just the layout was not good. So I deleted it all the way up to back to this turn and just completely redid it. And I'm definitely much happier with it now that I've done that. There is still like one pretty obvious kind of rough part back towards this area. The exit of this inversion, I think you can kind of see it right here, is a little bit too tight, but I don't really feel like changing it. I already had to carve into the wall back here a little bit to try and fit this inversion. Honestly, it's going at a speed where, like, if this were a real roller coaster, yeah, it would be a little bit of a jarring moment, but I don't think it would be, like, super uncomfortable. It would just be a really, like, sudden and kind of odd burst of positives right here. Yeah, aside from that one tiny little issue, I am very happy with this ride. I'm not going to show a full POV of the ride quite yet. I might wait until I've finished decorating this whole area before I do that. And a majority of the decoration I do to this roller coaster will be shown on camera, as I was saying before. But I think for like this kids area, for example, I think I'm gonna finish this little like small area off camera, and then when I eventually get onto one of the next like big areas of the park over there, I'll record a lot more of that. For now, what I want to focus on is this station, because this station has been like this for ages, and I really need to finish it. I don't think I'll finish it in this episode. I mean, I probably could finish it this episode. I feel like I definitely could. It just will require a lot of stopping and starting the recording and just a ton of like little short recordings of me, I guess, updating on what I did. I don't know. I don't want to go too overboard with the decoration here. I've been, with this part of the park in particular, I've been really struggling with like trying to keep things simple enough that I can build this at like a relatively quick pace, but also still detailed enough that like it's not boring to look at. And honestly, a lot of this stuff has just looked kind of weird. Like I really like this part of the building on its own, but like with the rest of it, it just looks kind of odd. And I'm hoping it's just because I don't have the rest of the building finished yet, because I did feel the same way with like most of these buildings, and it looks fine now that everything's in place. So I'm really hoping that ends up being the case with this as well. This park is starting to look really cool at night though. I like all the lights, especially in this like cyberpunk-ish sort of area that I'm doing for like the Hot Wheels themed area, which I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I failed a little bit at making this Hot Wheels theme. Like the only thing that really stands out as Hot Wheels themed is the twin mill over there right now. And I tried incorporating like the colors, like Hot Wheels has a lot of like orange and blue in a majority of their stuff, but I don't know. I'm hoping with this roller coaster I can kind of fix that problem a little bit. I think I'm gonna bring that to about that height. Then I'm gonna top it off with like one of these kind of roofs. And then when it starts to get to about here, we'll put the next set of walls in. Actually, do I want this part to be a flat roof? I think I'll have a flat roof here, and then the main section of the building where like you're boarding the ride will have a triangular roof. Maybe that'll work. I feel like a lot of this area is really boxy. I need to include more stuff like this in some of these buildings. I have not been doing too good at that. Let's actually increase the height of this roof a little bit so that I can move it over to here. Oh. It wasn't solid. So we'll do that. Do I actually want to try and make a portion of this outdoors? I feel like that could be interesting if I do actually cap this off. Like I'll cap part of it off right here, have like a doorway right here, and have this part of the staircase be outside. I think that would be really cool actually. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or not. And then that would mean I'd only have to do this part as part of the building, other than what I do down here. I don't know, I'm trying to simplify this building because I did not plan this at all, and the way I currently have it structured is awful. Like, the easiest thing for me to do would probably be tear the whole thing down, but I don't want to do that. Alright, I'm slowly chipping away at this. I've got the outdoor part here set up. I've got the overall shape of this first half of it pretty much done. I just need to put some roofs and stuff on here. and obviously detail it, and then it'll be on to the actual like boarding section. But for the most part, this is turning out pretty well. I did a little bit more decoration to the front of it, and I think it looks alright. It's not amazing. I'm still slowly learning how to make stuff on this game, but I think for the time being this is alright. As this park develops, I'll probably revisit this area at some point just to touch it up a bit more, but for now this is probably the best I can do for the time being.